Hello and welcome to the Otaku Network podcast. I'm Steve.
And I'm David.
And we are into week 8 of the spring season of 2024. So we'll get right into it. Talk about Seiyuu Radio. So this week's episode picks up a few weeks after the conclusion of their challenge where they had to walk through the neighborhood and avoid being contacted by any fans or ex-fans that were angry at them and wanted to destroy their career. So they've succeeded. They're still voice actors. We find the two girls heading over to the writer Asaka's house to surprise her by cleaning it and making her lunch. On their way home from Asaka's house, they begin to talk about how both of them are going to be auditioning for the same role in an upcoming anime. We then see Yumiko auditioning for the anime, and the scriptwriter asks her to audition for a different role that is more of a villainous character. Skip forward another week, Yumiko is meeting with her manager in an emergency meeting. Her manager brings up that she has been requested to audition for a role in the big mecha anime that Chika's already working on with her father. The role is for a primary antagonist, and Yumiko suspects that the reason she was asked in the previous audition to try out for the antagonist character is the same scriptwriter is working on the mecha show. A bit more time passes and we see the girls in school, and for some reason Chika is ignoring Yumiko. Yumiko tracks her down during lunch and kind of presses her on why she's ignoring her. And it comes out that Chika is a little upset that Yumiko got the role in the mecha anime. Kind of. It's hard to tell. But it seems that their competitive rivalry has been re-sparked now that they don't have anything else to worry about their careers, apparently. We then jump into a segment of recording for the anime, and Yumiko feels a lot of pressure because of the veteran actors that are there as well to record. The recording session doesn't go very well. She has to do a number of retakes. There's a point where they're doing generic background noise, and one of the main leads chastises her for kind of zoning out and missing the opportunity for one of the recording parts. The scriptwriter pulls her off to the side at the end, kind of gives her some advice, but tries to encourage her as well. But it doesn't work, and Yumiko is essentially deflated because of what she views as a failure in this opportunity that she's been given to have like a pretty good role within a serious anime. As she's leaving, she encounters Chika. Yumiko preempts what Chika's about to say, thinking she's going to try to encourage her, soften the blow of the terrible for performance, and just kind of brushes it off and tries to make it seem like it isn't bothering her as much as it is. Chika gets really mad and pretty much tells her that this isn't the kind of person I wanted you to be. This is kind of an insult to me. And we leave it with Yumiko pretty much in a deep depression over her performance and whether or not this is something she's even going to be able to do professionally.
I think she's being way too hard on herself. They redo lines all the time in voice acting. I think she's just way too in her head.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. So it was presented in the idea that she was overdoing it through nervousness. Because there was the first read-through where it was too forceful, too kind of caricaturesque. And then when they wanted her to redo it, so everybody's recording together.
Mm-hmm.
So there's obviously a significant amount of pressure and a significant amount of embarrassment when you're next to all of these well-respected veterans and you are the one that's told you have to re-record because you fucked it up. So then she does it again and it's too quiet and then she has to do it again and they're like, all right, I guess that'll work. We can figure this out. Whether or not the others see her as a failure, it's undeniable that she's going to see herself as a failure as well because of the embarrassment of just screwing up and wasting everybody's time. So I don't know. It did seem like she fucked up pretty bad.
I don't know. I like the voice she picked at first.
Fair, but if it doesn't...
But it fit the character. It fit because the description of the character is this girl that is super jealous and she does all these body modifications. Gets burned across the face and shit like that.
Yeah, okay.
And it's she was going for unhinged. And then he's like, don't be unhinged. The fuck you mean? She literally altered her body so that she could compete with this girl. Of course she's going to be fucking unhinged.
What's a little bit silly with the premise of the character too is Yumiko's character is obsessed with Chika's character because they were both classmates in university. So it's mirroring them in real life. So I thought that was a little dumb.
Yeah.
The scriptwriter, whatever he was, I can't remember exactly. They've got their specific things that they're looking for. They have the voice in their head, and if it doesn't match, like she was talking about in the original audition, this guy's super picky and is known in the industry for being very strict. So, she kind of went in there expecting, but I'm interested. I wonder if we'll ever find out what Chika was going to tell her before Yumiko shoved her foot in her mouth.
Yumiko does that a lot.
She does, yeah.
She needs to stop doing that because the conflict of this anime is literally just Yumiko does something fucking stupid. Every source of conflict is just, hey, my foot would look really good in my fucking mouth. Thunk.
Yumiko doesn't think things through.
No, she doesn't.
At all, period. And that's what riles Chika up, because Chika's incredibly serious and very, maybe not necessarily level-headed, but she puts a lot of effort into projecting herself as somebody that's serious and reliable. Whether or not she is. I mean, she kind of is, but she puts a lot of work to make that.
Yeah.
And then she gets pissed off that Yumiko...
Foot, meat, mouth.
To Chika, or in Chika's mind, Yumiko does not take this career seriously.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
And I think that's what pisses her off the most. It's like, why are you even doing this? You apparently don't care.
Because you can't be serious all the time. You can be serious most of the time. But if you're serious all the time, you're going to be dead from a heart attack at 50.
Yeah, right. Pretty much.
And if Chika keeps that up, dead at 50, suffering from a heart attack, she'll definitely have a breakdown at some point.
Yeah, I can see that. Because she just pushes herself so hard, so far.
She's gonna, have a drug-fueled rage in her 30s, and it'll be,
This was a good episode, I thought.
Yeah, it was a really good episode.
Progress of the story was well-paced. It brought back the idea that we liked, from the first couple of episodes, where it's the friendly rivalry between the two of them to try to be better than each other and than themselves. The postscript of the end of the last episode, I think, kind of washed away some of the bad feeling that challenge left in my mouth. So they touched on how the tides had turned in the opinion of them online after the challenge, when a lot of the supportive fans realized how much harassment was going on. And so there was a lot of doxing of the people that were stalking and harassing them and just essential shunning them out of being shitty people, which I liked how they did that. I thought that was a good way to kind of smooth over the struggles that they had been going through in a relatively realistic fashion.
If only that worked in real life.
It kind of does.
I don't know. You can shun a lot of shitty people and they'll still be shitty people.
You would be surprised in what public and popular opinion does to people in Japan.
Fair.
If you can get the mob...
I'm thinking United States.
Yeah, no. All you got to do is get the mob on your side, and people will fade back into the darkness. Though I'm afraid next episode's going to be a bit fan servicey. The subtitle or the title of it is something to do with Christmas.
Oh no.
So Yumiko may be wrapped up as a present for Chika.
Oh god.
The last segment where Yumiko is standing on the bridge, I'm like, oh, she's going to jump. I mean, she's not going to jump, but man, she could jump.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
I mean, I knew it wasn't going to happen, but it's like, oh, if this was a darker anime.
I was like, what if she jumps? And I'm like, wait.
She'd have jumped.
Wait. This isn't that dark of an anime.
No, this is only episode 9 too. Out of probably 12. It's going to be 12.
She could be in the hospital for a couple episodes.
The coma arc?
Yeah. Fuck it, just turn it into Archer. Seiyuu voice noir.
Or it could be Rumbling Hearts.
Or any other anime.
With a coma.
With a coma.
Yeah. But no, it was a good episode. I liked it.
It was solid. It was,
It got us back on track, and it did it in a good way. I was worried that we were going to be in a valley of interest again.
No, they're just
they leave it. They jumped in pretty good, pretty strongly.
Yeah, they're just hey, let's hit the ground running, and they got there.
They got distracted a little bit. The distraction was good for the most part, but now they've refocused into kind of the core concept of what I think the story should represent.
Voice acting.
Well, no, yes, it was nice to see some industry stuff, but no, the conflict between the two girls, because that's the entire premise. Is these two girls are conflicting personalities, and how do they mix together?
Like oil and water. This week's episode of Re-Monster had us continue the pretty boring action sequences. As you can see by the title card, a introduction of some more deviant, I think that's what they call them, deviant humans.
So I was confused as to where these people came from.
Yeah, me too.
So I kind of watched I kind of skimmed through the last bit of the last episode. It seems like they were just part of the prisoners that they had taken from the last batch of humans they fought.
So they have this deviant group of humans that all have these lord powers that a lot of the other people in Prabellum have, and they basically challenge Oguro and are like, actually first they challenge Dami because they think she's in charge because she's a Dhampir, so she has to be in charge. And then something ogres are stupid, something he can't be in charge. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, they don't know. They're just using their biases to guide their thinking.
And then he beats them like redheaded stepchildren.
Heals them.
God, yeah.
He beat the whole group.
He did beat the whole group.
And then he's like, come back to life.
Did you also notice how shitty the animation was when the fire and the wind lady were coming at him?
Yeah.
And he like hit him and they stopped and they like stuttered.
Yeah.
Because the animation shit itself for a second and then they hit him again. Oh God, I had to rewatch it like 3 times to make sure I wasn't having a stroke. I literally thought I was having an aneurysm watching that stutter. And I'm like, oh, I'm just tired. I'm like, no, that actually happened.
Yeah.
So then we get through that fight.
Well, the whole thing with that is he's offering all the prisoners an option. Join them or just fuck off to their homeworld. Or not,
their homeland.
Go back to where they're from.
So he gives them provincial membership and basically is like, hey, you either do what I ask you to do or you can fuck off back to your homeland. And a lot of them agree. Some of them do fuck off back to their homeland.
You're forgetting something before all of that happened. How did the show begin? Like a ton of the ogres and a ton of the
bunch
goblins
of shit levels up again,
and hobgoblins just leveling up and transforming.
And that one kobold,
the pervert, the necrophilic pervert.
Oh yeah, there's the necrophilic pervert goblin that likes to eat undead, and she's a fermentation goblin now.
It was so strange.
And then he gets some dwarves.
Yeah, I think that was part of the capture.
And then the leader of the kobolds like levels up and becomes like
a dog man.
And he thinks he's a badass, but his like ears keep like tweet, 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 tweet.
Yeah. He's like, I've leveled up, so I look more impressive, and his ears keep flipping like he's waiting for a
happy
frisbee to
little dog.
be thrown.
Yeah. I'm just like,
well, I'm sure he's happy. He's impressive. He wants to impress Oguro.
And then they make this weird centipede stone thing.
Oguro has this he gained this ability during the last fight where he's essentially an artificer. And so he spent a good chunk of the episode playing with the artificer ability.
Didn't he make a stupid ability where he was like sensitive to sunlight and that's all it did?
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Because that's one thing I've been thinking about, as I kind of like casually read a lot of the abilities. Some of them are not abilities. They're detriments. Some of them are. And so he decided to put 2 of them together. It's like sensitive to light and then like
enhanced damage or some shit.
Yeah, and so he started burning when he stepped out into the sunlight. He's like, I guess I'm not going to use that again. It was so stupid.
This anime is so stupid. Anyways. Keep going. We got to keep pushing. Dwarves make him a hammer, and then he goes and finds that dryad again.
Yes.
Bones the dryad.
Yeah, the dryad was a little sad that he hadn't been around in a while.
Gets some seeds.
Yes.
After giving some seed.
Yep.
And then all the women are jealous of him again, so he bones all of them again. And I'm just like, why? More sweet dick music. And then splits up into teams and is like, hey, everybody go back to your homelands. Because he wants to take all the human women back because he promised them that they would go back.
But they don't really want to go back.
And they don't really want to go back. But he's like, you have to go to make sure that you're sure you want to stay.
Yet for some reason, it's turned into now this expedition into like human lands that he's breaking up into teams. I don't know. Next episode, we'll see them in town and how that interacts with the peasant folk.
Oh, they also finished the hot spring to allure elven women into it.
Yeah. Because they've been, what is it, 3 episodes now? They've been renovating their living quarters, and the main key feature is to build a hot spring because Earthay
found a hot spring on accident.
Yeah, she punched her way into an aquifer. And he's like, I know what to do with this.
And now Oguro wants hot babes.
Yeah, he wants to mate with the elves. There was that little point where the elf chieftain invited them to a celebration and his daughter's dancing seductively, and Oguro's like, are you sure it should be here?
Yeah. Oh, it's usually we don't associate with the other races, but you're our hero.
Yeah.
This anime sucks. This anime fucking sucks.
The only point of interest was when he was talking with the kobold, and the kobold was showing off his new look. And he's like, you look like an organized criminal who's discovered cosplay.
Yeah.
It
made me chuckle, but then the rest of the episode made me cringe.
It was
this episode,
it didn't do a lot.
I'm surprised
But it didn't not do things.
how every week it continues to disappoint me. I said this last week, how it keeps pushing the bar lower and lower into the earth. It's hit the mantle at this point.
Well, I wouldn't say that this was worse than the last episode with the bug kid. This episode really just had nothing of any purpose. Well, the entire thing was set up for them deciding to go into the human world now, finally. 90 days later.
It's so dumb.
And we'll see what happens next week.
When is that old perverted goblin gonna die, by the way?
Yeah,
Because didn't he say that they only live for like 3 months?
Yeah, how old do you think he is?
Way older than 3 months.
Yeah, because it's been 3 months since
Oguro
Oguro showed up.
Born.
Yeah.
But he's been around for way longer than that, so he should be like on death's door.
Why isn't he leveling up? I mean, he's not doing anything, but still.
Oh, what do you mean? He sniffed Blood Sato's ass as he walked in. And I'm like, what the fuck was that?
When he pushed him aside to watch the challenge.
Yeah, didn't you notice?
Yeah,
He,
I noticed
sniffed her ass crack,
Yes.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
ugh,
I don't know. We'll see what next week has.
ugh, gross.
I'm sure we're going to see the scene of like townswomen clutching their pearls and men grabbing pitchforks. And then everything is Oguro going, no, relax. We're here on friendly terms.
I have a penis.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to walk into the first human village and just have to level the thing out of spite.
You might fuck it out of spite.
He may, I don't know,
You might fuck that whole village.
to bring him onto their side.
You might fuck that whole village. There's gonna be a line.
The recruiting procedure for Prabellum also includes STI testing.
No, there's no STI testing. They don't care.
Okay, it probably should though.
He has the healing blood. Nobody gets an STI.
Yeah,
He's
you're
just
right.
like, here, blood, and everybody's cured of literally everything forever.
This week's episode of Astro Note has Takumi and Mira spending a little bit more quality time together. Takumi has Mira join him in a special sale event at the shopping district. While they're doing that, Shochiki is taking Naosuke on a walk. And we find out why Shochiki likes walking Naosuke. It's because Naosuke brings all the girls to Shochiki. And Shochiki is a little pervert. Loves being fawned, or indirectly fawned on by young women. While Shochiki and Naosuke are at the park, Ren and his classmates show up. And the classmate starts talking about how good of a dog Naosuke is. And, well, Ren can't stand it and is like, he's not a dog. Whispers something to him. His friend's like, I don't believe you. And Ren's like, I'm going to prove it to you. And spends the entire rest of the episode trying to capture Naosuke not acting like a dog.
On his iPad.
Yeah, on his iPad. As Takumi and Mira are returning from shopping, Takumi starts to talk with her naturally about her being a weirdo. You know, trying to get to know her more, understand her people. We get more in-depth building of their relationship, and it was kind of nice. So they get back to the house, and Naosuke realizes pretty quickly what Ren is trying to do and returns to Mira's room, shocked to find Takumi in there. And is like, look, that kid's gonna expose me. I don't know what to do. And so Takumi tells him, you just need to act more like a dog, and proceeds to go through a series of trying to teach him how a dog acts, playing fetch, rolling over, shaking, eating bones, everything to denigrate Naosuke as a intelligent alien species. Afterwards, Takumi and Mira are alone together again, and Mira talks about how Naosuke's people are a race where select individuals are chosen to be lifelong protectors of the members of the royal family, you know, until they die, because Naosuke's race outlive the Wido. And Takumi mentions something about how sad that must be for Naosuke's people. Their entire existence is meant to protect a solitary person who in the end dies anyways and leaves them all by their own, which really kind of hits Mira really hard. Naosuke again confronts Aoi as the disembodied voice, who Aoi has named Octa because she thinks he's just a shut-in that lives in room 8. As Naosuke is trying to console the deep depression that Aoi is in, Aoi realizes she can't beat Mira for Takumi's heart. Teriko interrupts the bonding between Takumi and Mira to complain about, or to let Mira know that her key is missing. As she kind of walks them through the steps she took when she last saw it, Tomohiro and Shochiki also talk about how they're missing keys. At this point, Takumi realizes he's missing a key. Well, it's got to be the Hubby's. So they set a trap. They set up a fake key, or Mira pretends to find the key that she's looking for and does it very artificially.
Showman-y.
Yeah, showmanship. They put it in a box, leave it on the dining room table, and set up a camera. As they're waiting for the trap to be sprung, a typhoon shows up, power gets cut, and they realize that the key has been taken. So the chase is on, but it doesn't really get anywhere. Naosuke presents a Men in Black style device that they can use to search for them. They come downstairs to find the rest of the house's residents enjoying some food before it spoils in the fridge. Instead of fighting it, they decide to join in, come up with the idea of let's bring out one of them jars of plum wine to celebrate as well. So Mira and Takumi go down to get the plum wine, and as they come back, Takumi keeps being beset upon by a series of ridiculous attacks. Banana peels, all sorts of things that are meant to comically hurt him or distract him or get him away from Mira. Something clicks in his head. So the reason he's been shadowing Mira because Naosuke told him to watch Mira because he's not going to be able to act as naturally as he wants to because he's trying to hide from Ren. So he assigned Takumi to be kind of her temporary guardian. With all the attacks that kept happening to Takumi, something clicked in his head and he's like, wait a minute, they're coming after me. Grabs the device from Naosuke and starts shining it around and reveals that Aoi is being possessed by the Hubbies. Aoi immediately realizes the jig is up and starts attacking Takumi, then starts to go after Mira.
Says some pretty aggressive shit.
Yeah, she through the control of the Hubbies gets quite mean and angry. Naosuke realizing what's up tells Takumi that the thing he has to do is suck it out of Aoi. Takumi, without hesitation, drops her to the floor and just French kisses her. Kind of. They get the reverse of the infamous Lady and the Tramp spaghetti scene, where Takumi starts pulling out the amorphous hubby squid from out of Aoi's mouth. So, and Mira's watching the whole thing, but she realizes once she sees the squid that Takumi is not just a ravenous pervert who decided to jump on Aoi for no reason. Squid gets away, and we see it present what it thinks is the key to its master. And then that'll lead us into the next episode. The saving grace of Takumi is that Aoi apparently has no memories of what happened during the possession, and everyone else was too drunk to even realize what was going on.
This episode was very entertaining.
It was a good episode. It was a lot of fun.
It was just super funny. I really enjoyed all of the interactions with all the characters.
Yep.
We got a little bit more insight into Shochiki and
how much of a pervert he is.
Yeah.
Which
it made me uncomfortable when he was like, one of them's close to Aoi's age. I'm like, ah!
Yeah.
Oh, God.
From what we've heard about how Mira's father was, we can see why him and Shochiki get along so well. I wouldn't be surprised if Shochiki went to the hostess bars with him as well at some point. I loved the couple of moments where Naosuke was so close to catching the squid, and then he'd look over and there's Ren with the iPad, and he immediately stops what he's doing and goes to all fours and tries to act like a dog.
I like Ren's content, like,
yeah. Ren just had this scowl and the iPad right in front of him the entire time. He's like, I'm gonna catch you.
So what I really like is I like when Takumi is working with Naosuke to like make him a dog, and he's like,
yes,
you don't want him to catch you, do you?
You do.
Just act like a dog.
Takumi had to have been getting a little bit of revenge against Naosuke for the number of times he's attacked him for being close to Mira. Like, just the whole point where at the end of it, Naosuke is chewing on a giant bone.
Yeah. It was funny, too, because he, like, got really into it.
Yeah.
And when they were alone in Mira's room again, he's like, paw, and he puts his paw up, and he's just like, wait a minute.
He's like, hey, you're acting like a dog already.
And then he fucking puts him into that hold. Where he's got his leg up near his head, and he's holding it.
Naosuke arm bars Takumi. He's like, I'll show you as a dog.
He didn't just armbar him, he leg barred him. Oh my God, it was so funny. This episode had me dying.
It was a really, really good episode. It was a lot of fun. Though, there's one thing I had a problem with.
What?
So the power got killed by the typhoon. Why didn't that hermetic door get sealed to the storage room like it did when the power flipped when they were down there in like episode 2 or 3?
It can open from the outside. It seals.
Oh, is that what? I guess that's what. I didn't even think about that.
Because it was open, and when the power surged, it sealed the door again.
Okay.
It doesn't open from the inside. It opens from the outside.
That's right. I forgot.
Which is a terrible design flaw. But
there's got to be a reason that they've shown that door and the fact that it has a really this complex mechanism.
probably where the key is.
Oh, I bet you it is.
Yeah, it's probably in one of those. Notice he grabbed the 1950 one.
Yeah.
There's still the 1948 one. Mira's mom showed up, I think in 1948 or 45 and left in 48.
Is it confirmed how long she was there?
I think she left in 48.
It might have been.
Because I think she spent a few years on Earth. I have to rewatch the episode.
That's what it felt like in the episode, but I couldn't remember if they had actually...
Because I don't think he started doing this plum wine thing...
Until after she left?
Until after she left.
I think
you're
right.
The first year is 1948. And I think that's where the fucking key is.
That's a really good idea. I think you may be right.
Because there was the whole thing about the flower reading thing, like what plum flowers mean.
What it represents. Yep.
And it's a promise. It's in 1948.
I think you're right. And that squid's been so close because it hid in that room.
Yeah, it probably can't go in to that liquid.
Well, it probably doesn't even understand what it's looking for. It's probably not even a key per se.
Fair. But I think it's in that room, and that's why there's such a
emphasis on it.
Yes, and there's such a weird mechanism to sealing it.
So one thing I've not brought up, it's rare for a residential building in Japan to have a basement. Like a lot of the houses do not have basements for a variety of reasons.
It probably originally didn't have a basement, and
well, we do know that that he's quite adept at carpentry. See, as he built all them hidden tunnels for Aoi.
Yeah.
In like half a year.
Yerp.
Mira's dad is a talented man.
He's a man of many talents. many things.
Yeah, too bad he's dead though. It'd be fun to see more of him in his weird shaped head outside of flashbacks.
Hero has a weird shaped head too.
Yes, he does.
Hero looks like a foot.
He looks like he's a big toe. Hero's a big toe.
A really thick thumb.
Yeah. Yeah, his head looks like a thumb with fish lips.
Oh, God, I hate his lips. And then Shokichi is just a fucking balloon with a little stilt. It's like, those little like party balloons that you can get where it's the thin stick and then just like the real tiny balloons that you get for like parties and stuff. He's shaped like one of those.
He's shaped like a troll doll without the hair.
Oh my God. I want to see a younger version of him, and I hope he has
just a huge head of hair.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
It would be funny. So I looked it up. Yeah, Mibojin is widow, and then Hubby is literally just husband. Goshu Seijin. I paid attention to them saying it in this episode finally for once. I'm like, what are they actually saying?
Good.
Yeah, Goshu Seijin.
Yeah, because it was...
It's literally widow and husband is the names of the planets and species.
It's almost like they don't have widows or husbands on their planet. Granted, how do they know what Japanese is? It'd be really cool if they had like their own language that wasn't Japanese, that they like started speaking and you got little like translations.
It's just different Japanese words that mean different things.
Yes.
They've explained they've never talked about why Mira speaks Japanese, right?
She has a device.
Oh, did they do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Like the first or second episode, there's a translation device that taught her.
I couldn't remember.
It's like the Terminator, where like the Terminator hears whatever someone's speaking, and then he's like, I now know this language. Yeah.
The standard science.
That taught them the language.
Shortcut. We'll see what next week brings. Should be fun. I mean, it'll be fun, but I have no idea what's going to happen.
I know. There's like it just...
Yeah, the preview wasn't even really much of a help either.
No, the preview it's like, will Aoi remember?
When is this show disappointed?
Never.
It
disappointed you a little bit with the flashback.
That flashback was a little boring. Seiyuu Radio was good this week. I think that was a really strong episode.
Heartbreaking, but good.
Yeah. Next episode should be good, but I fear that we're going to dip back into pointless fan service again, probably, for a little bit. Just given that in anime, Christmas, or at least Christmas Eve, is always represented as the most important time to young couples. That could be building on the Yuri narrative.
Confirmation. Confirmation.
So we'll see. I don't know. Remonster episode 9.
8.
No. I'm talking next week.
Oh.
I don't think we need to talk about this week's episode anymore.
Fair.
It didn't do anything.
Yeah. It didn't even... It advanced the plot, like...
It was a little bit of world building, kind of, by introducing this other group of things, and they're like, here's these magical orbs that give us these mystical powers and weapons.
So insufferable.
But it's building up into them now venturing out of the forest, finally, and into the wider world, and then encountering groups of humans that they're not dealing with from a combative perspective. So I'm actually interested to see how they're going to handle that.
He's just going to fuck him.
I don't think it's going to be good, but...
He's just going to dick him down.
Sweet dick music is the Pied Piper of the penis.
Oh my God. It just... They'll play his Pied Piper.
Astro Note, this was a great episode. This show just continues to entertain and impress.
Yes. Every week.
Every week.
Every week I'm happy. I read the comments of Remonster episodes. There are some people that are like us and are just like, this is a vessel for fan service. Or a
It's
vessel.
not even a good vessel for fan service.
Or it's just a vessel for stupid bullshit. And then other people are like, this is the best fucking anime I've ever watched. And I'm like,
Everybody has their own likes. It's not even a vessel for fan service because there really isn't any. Almost everything that's fan service like is just discussed. It's not actually even shown.
But the comments are so divisive that it's like, I hate this anime with every fiber of my being, or this is the best anime that's ever existed on planet Earth.
It makes you think that if the people that hate it that deeply, if they're still actually just watching it or just shit posting.
They're literally just showing up in every episode like, fuck this anime.
Fuck this anime.
I always wondered that, like, how do you get into like episode 12 of an anime you like? Be like, yep, still fucking hate this anime. And you're like,
why are you still
bro,
watching it?
this anime lives in your head rent free.
To be fair, I've done that a couple of times myself. I've watched all 3 seasons of Rent-A-Girlfriend. It's not a good anime. And I don't know why I kept watching it. And when season 4 comes out, I'm going to watch it.
It is hilarious because I've been watching My Hero Academia and I'm at the like ass end of season 3.
Okay.
So I'm 60 something episodes in because they're 24 episode seasons.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious just watching these people that are on like episode 63 and they're like, I fucking hate these characters and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, you have invested 60 something episodes of energy into this. You need a hobby.
I watched all of the original Naruto on a weekly basis as it was coming out with the fan subs through the 86 some odd episodes of not fan service, 86 some odd episodes of filler that happened to just cap off that show.
Like in
the original Naruto. The original Naruto. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've never watched Naruto.
Then it moves into Shippuden, and I watched 130 episodes of Naruto Shippuden before I realized I actually hate this show and I need to stop watching it. And I need to kind of just stop watching shonen battle anime in general. You can blame Naruto and Bleach.
My Hero Academia is fun.
Anything else?
Stay away from the sweet dick music.
The Pied Piper of the penis.
The penis piper. Penis piper picked a peck of pickle.
The penis piper picked a pack of people to parade around in his Prabellum paramilitary project.
I yield to your superior intellect. You win. You get the outro.
Thanks for listening and watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe and leave comments. And we will see you next week.
Bye.